Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the kingdom, y'all. You already know it's the king speaking to you. And welcome to part 24 of Disco Elysium. We gonna get it popping. Let's go. Alright, everybody. Welcome back. Last time we talked to these guys in the tent. And we got the key to the church, which is great. Let's talk to this guy over here, though. We haven't talked to him yet.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or
Oh, sorry, I'm a girl.
kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
She must be Estelle, the last of the speed freaks, posse. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
You must be a cell. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? I have some questions for you.
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I do.
You don't have to do anything.
I don't have to do anything. I am the law. You have to do what the law says. I should, and I do. Point your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's right. It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in the weather. Now that that's all cleared up, I have some questions for you.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Is that kind of... I'm not doing this one. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not gonna believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like? You're right, I don't believe you. You're wrong, I do believe you.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
A gangster crabman, yeah, I don't believe you. You were wrong, I do believe you.
Why?
Seems too ludicrous for a lie. What would you stand to gain? Strange things happen.
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question, please. What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Aha, okay. Maybe I'll ask later about all this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
What's the device you have there?
This? It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, any news of my wife's name? How about my mother? What am I supposed to do with this?
No.
Ah,
You're welcome.
thank you. Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model. How does this thing work? Where'd you get the mic from? Actually, I have some non-mic questions for you.
Same place I got the recorder from. The Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man. You haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamlock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Interesting. Is this the guy your friend Egghead likes? Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals.
Oh yeah, Egg's really into him. Maybe even too into him. He's a pretty intense personality.
I'm pretty intense too.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hip beyond my years. Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a rec tape player in a completely trashed hostel room. Neither do I actually. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Get down, grind.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Never mind. Let's talk about the contact mic.
Sure.
Yeah, she's getting weird. Sure told me how it works.
An entire litany spews forth.
Oh boy. Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion. You are. Look at you out here in front of a saggy tent picking your nose to drug addict music. The world of sports is in all of your faith and dedication. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. There was nothing else I wanted to know.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greatest and for yourself. I say I'm just about normal, not about that Mike.
You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right?
Alright, let's get out of this mic.
Okay.
Okay. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones? What are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
I'm about to say, it sound like drugs.
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Oh, my jacket. Start taking it off. Now this is where a hat would come in handy. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do. You said it's supposed to be a music place. Did you mean the one Andre's got planned? The church?
Yeah, the boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, inside the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Didn't you see it yourself? It's mostly music stuff. Like this tape recorder, but bigger.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Now this is where a hat will come in handy.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
Awesome. I gotta put a new hat on. I guess I'll have to do it after. I have some other
Go
questions.
ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning on in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with
Ooh,
electrical
secret
systems.
task. Electronic instruments? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Hypnotic music. Now I'm gonna find out what it is. Enough about the church then. I had another question.
Go ahead.
Ooh. The tape recorder lies on the ice like it's trying to pick it up. Just give me that. Alright, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. A kick drum pulse, the music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Alright, so I can level up. Where am I at here? Alright, so get us that'll talk about her associates. Estelle refused to talk about her friends. Maybe she'll open up later after you've helped them set up the nightclub. Alright, what do I want to level up? Maybe authority again? There we go. That's opened up some more. Egghead. Physical instrument, challenging. Which one are any of these authority? Suggestion. I probably should have, look at these white checks before I just start leveling things up. Because they're going to let me know which things I need to make better so that I can get through them. I should have leveled up empathy. A lot of these need empathy. Damn. See? That was stupid. Okay, so it's 2008. I can get to that guy's apartment at 2100. I don't remember when the homie Kim said that he'd be good to come play. So I don't know if I want to go into the church or kind of go back, see if the homie Kim's out. I can also talk to what's her name, but I don't know if I want to talk to her without Kim. So let's, you know what? Actually, let me put a hat on, because I have no hat right now. How do I get to the... No. Close. No. Close. Let's put that bum hat back on. I should have gave her the bum hat. Actually... They put Dick Mullins' hat on. It doesn't take any of my stats down. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So we can get in here now. Let's at least open it up, I guess.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Pull on the
A
doors.
great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Oh, it's very dramatic. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Alright, so we're walking. We're taking our time, More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long-forgotten style. Yeah, I don't... Damn. Do I want to get involved right here, right now? Or do I want to go back and... I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. It seems like it's gonna be pretty intense. Let's see here. So she's still upstairs there.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists.
It's raining out here. You should have a coat.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
I need to talk to you about your room again.
Yeah?
Where does that door lead to? Point to the door on the roof.
I have no idea, officer.
That window is new.
It is.
You should move slightly to your left to check her reflection in it.
All right.
Let's talk more about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She's not really saying anything, so, alright.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Use Kuno words. Stop using the K word. It belongs in the past. Total retards use language like that. Congratulations, Kuno. You just made yourself a retard. Oh yeah, kids. But don't you mean desert kid? It's all superficial, kids. The race mystery runs deeper than you could ever understand. Wish I could have been here to see it.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to crawl up your ass!
Kuno knows which kip Kuno meant. Kuno knows all the kips. Kuno's dad's a kipped expert. Says kipped every day, 100 times a day. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything.
Try to crawl out of Kuno's ass now.
Yeah? The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down?
I guess nothing. Okay. Gotta talk to this lady about reality some more. He doesn't really like that, so here's a good time to kind of get that off the chest.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Oh, I got the badge.
I love you did.
She inspects the piece of her blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter? More lessons in basic reality?
Yeah.
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Now that we're alone, what is pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes. What is the pale?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what is an Isola?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Interlinde is?
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
The negation of.
That's right. The negation of being.
I can't tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell, like, if these are new or old.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing. Just alcohol fumes and blackout. I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying. It will all end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. The advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful still, they have it coming. I'm worried. I have to say it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you have all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective.
Oh no.
If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember by me, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. It'll be a fucking disaster, I know it. All these people will die.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of
The
teeth.
smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
She says. Huh, what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got shot in the head? Who got the mineral rights? What is this kerfuffle?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle. That's a tragedy. Sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then.
Yes. The Insulindian deluge, they call it.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king. Cowardly king. I love that king. Fucking communist. I don't care about kings. Tell me one more thing.
Yes. King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down? Anyway, Gil got out alive and his nephew Frisell got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral
The
rights?
liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the Ultras, or Ultra-Liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win it
They
all?
didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals already took everything.
The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The Coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
Who are the coalition?
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The arms center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
I don't think I'm a moralist, man. Not just technically, practically. For a moment there was hope. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
Turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did the Zaroth do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar.
Our lives are not the same. What is the zone of control? What happened to the rest of the world?
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-Islary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have we been doing all this time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, Offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
Nice. Got the reality lowdown. Task
For
complete.
her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
Which side was Wild Pines Group on?
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
They chose wisely.
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You would have sided with the king?
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I asked you, who are you in all this? I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Zarath drove those people mad. I would have killed more, 400 million if that's what it took. I would have positioned myself very precisely. Would have made it out with the mineral rights.
You and everyone else. But that's got nothing to do with preventing the revolution. Oh well. What was, was. They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
I want to know what you are.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine. It's sharp.
Wait, what's an ultra? Dios mío! A liberal! Oh, shit. Cool. I liberate pretty hard myself. I don't understand what's so vile about that.
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. No, not like me. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp who pushed the king under a shipwagon and betrayed the revolution. Are you liberated enough to offer up your home on a plate for financial colonists? No, I think not. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening?
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
You're a monster. I forgive you. I forgive you, but only because you're charming. I don't care.
A fitting punishment. To be forgotten, if not forgiven. Save a prayer for us in our chateaus on Ozon and in Stella Maris. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future.
She turns her gaze to the depth.
Managed.
Would you have done something different?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect, in her green eyes, an oil fire on the ocean.
You're a smart woman. You're a patriot. You have daughters.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
So am I. No, or intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
A smart boy getting smarter, one basic term of reality at a time. Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here. Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
What is acute encephalopathy?
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective, in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
What causes encephalopathy?
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
It's definitely the drinking.
She nods slowly.
Alright, let's try this.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Okay.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Alright, well, that was cool. We leveled up again. This time we're gonna do it smart though. We're gonna, I remember a lot of things needed empathy, I believe. So we got encyclopedia, and I guess all these are white that I can try again, so maybe I should go around and try some of them. Let's see, empathy. The yellow is very hard to read. Interfacing, composure. Physical instrument, volition, rhetoric, suggestion, empathy. Let's do empathy. I feel like a lot of them have empathy. Alright. So, it's almost 2100, which is cool.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
28%, yeah, ain't good enough. We can go over to the statue. I think Encyclopedia's going up a good amount, so maybe if I go over to the statue, I'll be able to, do the statue again, maybe? I don't know. Man, I miss Kim. It's been a while. It's been a lonely day by myself, investigating. Just not the same when you're out here riding solo, Just not the same.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if
92%.
being reassembled even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Auro. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
I'd like to sleep on gold hustler style. The king is the king and he can do anything. Wait, really? There's no way that's true. A deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what
You
now?
see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Okay, what is nose candy? This is a lot to process. So he was addicted to nose candy? A bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Interlindian Bay. Cocaine. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Beneath the cold waters of the Interlindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's brilliant. So funny and nihilistic. That's such a bad idea. I really don't get art.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Cool. Well, it's about that time. About to be 21 hundos. I guess we can make our way downtown. 3 T's. How idiomatic. Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. He should have sent a poet.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Well, that didn't work out for us. Should have known. Nothing ever works out for me. Ever. Why would this have been any different? The curtain shifts just a little. Someone is watching from within. Well, alright everybody. So, it is about to be 2100. But the video is getting kind of long, so I think we're going to wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for coming through on part, what is this, 20, I don't even know, 4? The series. If you like it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, make sure that you subscribe, and part 25 is going to be a big one, because we're finally going to talk to this guy in his apartment. I guess I'm riding solo without Kim. Hopefully everything goes well. You know, gotta really show my detective expertise, and if there's time, we're definitely going to the church in the next episode. I think after, well, damn, I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't want to go to the church without Kim. I think we're going to take him there. I think that'd be the smarter idea. So we're going to see what happens. Maybe go to bed, get Kim the next day, go to the church after we talk to this guy. Who knows what's going to happen. So until part 25 comes, peace.